Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. I am Geek Girl Claire. Welcome to another exciting mini four-wheel drive video. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience with AAA Hobbies in Magnolia, New Jersey. So yesterday was their first practice run for their championship contest in July. So it was a practice run where we got to run our cars and see how they would fare on their test track. So their test track had a lot of wicked turns. It was a 3-lane track versus a 5-lane track at Hobbytown. So this was considered more of a technical track than a speed track. So let's go through some of the racers. First, I started with racers that I knew were slow and would probably stay on the track. So things like my car Pango, which is my Panda Bear pink racer. This was slowly moving around the track, and yes, it completed the track and stuff, but it was very slow. So I wouldn't consider this to be a good box stock racer. It's very cute, but it's not tuned for anything, so it's rather slow. So it's a good kids racer though. So I think a kids box stock would be good for this. Then I tried, what did I try next? Oh, I tried my son's car. So this is the Matthew car, and yeah, this one, if you can imagine, I had rollers in the back and it didn't fare too well. I just basically shut off the course. So this wasn't too good either, but it was very fast for what it was. Then I tried Owlie. Owlie is my pro racer. It's an orange racer, and the one that I tried originally had the orange rollers on it, basically the stock rollers, and it has a torque-tuned engine in there, and before it also had these rollers in the front, and it didn't fare too well either. It would keep flipping upside down and stuff, and it was like slower than everybody else's. But then I decided, hey, let's add some weights to the car, and let's add these 12-13 millimeter aluminum rollers, and this thing stayed on the track, surprisingly, and it didn't even need back rollers. So this thing was actually moving along pretty well. It was a little slower than the rest of the cars, but it was moving along pretty well even without the back rollers. So I don't know what it is about this particular car and not having rollers, but it seemed to work. However, I feel that maybe if it had 19 millimeter rollers in the back, I didn't have them at the time, I didn't have the right plate for it, it would probably move along a lot quicker. So I think also changing to an atomic tuned pro motor would also help this, because it seems like that course was meant for atomic tuned motors. So that was my first observation. Second observation, you don't need the back rollers, but I think you do if you want it to be a little faster. Then I decided, let's go for broke. Everybody was basically testing their open class cars, so I got out Neon Vicky, and this thing was really fast. It beat everybody off the line, but the lane changer, it basically flipped upside down the lane changer. That lane changer on a 3-lane course is known as a killer kind of thing. You really can't get out of that very easily unless you weigh your car down a lot. So a lot of the other racers gave tips like, well, you have to have like a certain weight on your car to be able to keep the car down. So because the lane changer did not have the plastic shield above it, most of the cars that were not heavy enough would just fly off the lane changer. So that's one really difficult aspect about this AAA Hobbies track, the fact that there's no shield covering that lane changer part. So then I decided, let's race my 1997 Thunder Boomerang, and let's see what would happen. Well, what happened was this thing fell apart into pieces. So the whole thing basically went splat and into like at least a dozen or so pieces right here. It basically disassembled itself right on the track. So I don't think this is good as a racing car. I had replaced the chassis on it from a TZ chassis to the new TZX chassis. I do not see much of a difference in the quality of the chassis between the old and the new. I don't know why they say that the TZX is an improvement over the old. So here is proof right here that the new chassis is no better than the old. Both of them just fall apart. And I don't think these would be good for racing in the current times. So we'll just leave this for the shelf. It looks nice on the shelf. And the fact that it's got these big wheels looks nice too. So we'll keep this on the bookshelf where it belongs. Next, we tried Spider Gwen. Spider Gwen is the car that I won from a drag race in Hobbytown, and this is basically a geo glider. It has a very cool aerodynamic look, and it is arguably the fastest box stock car that you can get, going at 20 kilometers per hour. So it's pretty good, and it's got these low friction tires that basically hug the track. And these, look at these rollers in the back. No other car seems to have these very wide rollers like this. So this really helps. So if you can get wide rollers like this on your car, I think it would really help. If you cannot get plastic rollers like this, then go for the aluminum ones, which are a little more expensive, but they'll keep you on the track. So very good stuff here. And this is just box stock going at 20 kilometers per hour. So then I tried, in open class, I said, well, people were looking at this car and they were like, that's an open class car. And I said, yes, it is an open class car because it has a Hyperdash motor in there. That's the red motor. But this is a circa 1997 Hyperdash motor. So everybody was oohing and ahhing over that. And this is a very fast motor. It gets off the line very quickly. And basically, right off the line, it beats everybody in terms of speed. But again, the lane changer, I like to start on that lane 1 where I can get. Okay, so this is my tip of the day. Get the lane changer out of the way, right? So start on the lane with the lane changer. Once you're out of the way on that, then lanes 2 and 3 are a piece of cake compared to lane 1. I think I probably gave the secrets away here, and most of you will probably then go for lane 1 on the races, but that's okay. This is my secret that I'm revealing to you. So here, with this Hyperdash motor, it's a little too fast for the lane changer. So this is not a good motor for lane changing. So it is basically a balanced motor, just like Atomic Tune, but the Atomic Tuned motor, that's what this course was basically tuned for. So Steve, who designed the track, designed it around his favorite car, which happens to be the one I'll show you next, the one that actually fared the best out of all of these. My car, Blue Beetle. So this is like Steve's car, and in it, instead of the rev-tuned motor, is the Atomic Tune motor. So here's the black motor right here. So this is my observation number 3. The track is basically meant for this car. So if you can build this car and have an Atomic Tune motor in there and do other niceties in there, you'll do fairly well. This car does flip over from time to time, so this is not perfect, but it's as perfect as it can be for this particular track. So I'm going to be racing this car. So watch all of these Blue Beetles come out and race against me and others. But then there's another car that did fairly well too, the Neo VQS, and that's based on the VZ chassis. So Neo Victor, that's the name of my car here. I put a lot of work into this car, a lot more than the Blue Beetle. So this car should have fared better than the Blue Beetle, but it does not. Sometimes it flips over, especially in that lane changer. This is a heavy car at 115 grams, but it still flips over. So why? Because it's fast. It's really, really fast. If I figured out a way of slowing this down, maybe by adding some weights, then it would keep the car in that lane change without flipping over. But then I would be sacrificing speed in the next 2 lanes. So I might not race this car. I might race the Blue Beetle as my primary choice. So that's it. This was like a very fun, awesome time at AAA Hobbies, just practicing our cars and finding out what works and what doesn't. There were a lot of people there whom I've met from previous outings at Hobbytown, and people on the internet who say that they've subscribed to my channel and they watch my videos and stuff like that. I was competing against them as well. So yeah, if you come out to AAA Hobbies next month, you'll see a lot of these familiar faces, and I hope to see one of my idols in the mini 4-wheel drive world next month. Maybe he'll show up, maybe not. He and his wife usually show up for these track meets. His name is Shell Shock, and hopefully he'll appear. So it would be awesome and an honor to basically race against him. So yeah, if you like this video, everybody, please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, make sure you slam that like button, because I'll be making more videos just like this one, especially for next month's race and the ones to come. So at Hobbytown, there's a pre-registration. If you register your vehicle for $10 for the entire season, you can race as many times as you want, which is the best deal in town. So come next month, and we'll all race together. Yes, see everybody. Bye.